All right, guys, well, welcome back. This is our family long-term ownership review, and this is a 2022 Kia Telluride SX with the Prestige package. So this is pretty much fully loaded. There's only a couple options this doesn't have. It doesn't have the self-leveling rear suspension, and it doesn't have the towing package. But other than that, this thing is pretty well loaded. And we've had it for almost 6 months now. And we've loved it. This has been a huge upgrade for us. This has been, we drove a 2000 Toyota Land Cruiser for a long time. And so this is a massive, massive upgrade. And the Kia Telluride has had a lot of popularity over the last couple years since it's been out. And for good reason. This thing's awesome. Like, it looks amazing and it's so well styled. There's tons of room inside. And it's not that big of a vehicle. I mean, this has as much room, it feels to me like it has as much room as like a Tahoe or something, even though it feels smaller to drive. So today I just kind of want to give you a little bit of a tour, give you some thoughts on our ownership. We've had it for about 6 months. We've put just over 4,000 miles on it, and give you some thoughts of what it's like to drive, what it's like to own, and just some of our favorite things about it. So let's take a look. So one of the coolest distinctions about the Kia Telluride, especially in the SX trim, is that when the vehicle's on, which we'll show you, there's this cool orange or amber surround here for the daytime running lights. And these headlights give off a ton of light. It's incredible. The first day we took this out, we were going on a road trip. It was the day after we bought it, and we were driving at like 3 a.m. and we could see, it seemed like forever, to the side and in front of us, and the visibility was incredible. Like, these headlights are amazing. This has the nightfall package, and so you've got this blacked out grille, blacked out vents here, blacked out wheels, and with this wolf gray paint, it's sharp. I mean, and the 2022 also has the new Kia logo. Some people don't love it. I think it looks great. I think Kia's done a nice job of updating their old logo into something that looks modern and even a little futuristic. But the front end looks amazing. I mean, there's no mistaking the Kia Telluride for being a Kia Telluride. It has a unique look that I think looks really, really classy. And also with this Nightfall package, you have these 20-inch gloss black wheels, which I think look really good. And we had winter tires on this for the last several months, because here in Utah, we sometimes like to get snow. But we just recently put these all seasons back on, and it's so smooth with whatever tires you have on. They're great. And then you've got, you know, camera on the front. You've got cameras here which show you your blind spot. I mean, you can just see it's a great looking vehicle. You also have this blacked out trim. This is usually chrome on the other trim levels and without the SX package, but with the, not with the SX, with the Nightfall package, you get this darker trim. And it looks amazing. They've done a fantastic job. On the back here as well for 2022, they no longer have the SX and the V6 badging. They only have the all-wheel drive, but this is also blacked out. Same with the Telluride name. And again, it looks good. So overall, the exterior is fantastic looking. It's one of just the better styled SUVs on the market today. And we get compliments, you know, all the time. And we're just really happy with the way that it looks. All right, so coming into the Kia Telluride, you have nice, heavy doors. It feels good to open. And we have the SX package with the Prestige package on top of that. And this gives you some nice Napa leather. This is upgraded from the standard leather that's used. You also have this nice wood trim, automatic windows up and down, Harman Kardon stereo, which sounds really good. Some cool little features like plastic coverings, because Kia, at the end of the day, even though this is a very luxurious vehicle, they knew who they were making this car for, and they knew that things like this were probably going to get dirty, kids were going to kick their feet on them, and they're really just easy to wipe off and clean. Like, Kia put a lot of thought into making this a great family vehicle. And so sitting down in here, it feels really good. And you've got all of your kind of safety sensors here that you can adjust. You can adjust the tailgate height. If you've got a low garage like we do, we need to adjust that. And nice wide screen here. If you start it up, the seat comes forward. You've got a nice wide screen. You also have physical buttons for a lot of things as well, which can be unusual in today's market where a lot of things are touch. Here you have buttons for the map, navigation, the fans, the air conditioning. You also have down here, you can even look over here, heated and ventilated front seats. And the second row is also heated and ventilated. Wireless Mary, just be quiet for a minute. Wireless charging pad. You got your USB. You also have other ports there.
You can tell we live in this car.
Yes, it's been well loved over the last 4,000 miles. You've got a sunroof here. You've got a panoramic roof back there. It doesn't go back and like open air, but you do have this nice just open feeling with those two sunroofs. And then let's show you the back. Okay, so coming into the second row, there's two captain's chairs here. And you can see these guys have lots of room. You guys have lots of room back here? Yeah, it's great. And again, Kia's thinking this is plastic, which some might be like, oh, that's cheap. But if you have kids that are going to kick your seat all the time, it's easy to take care of. You can just wipe it down, clean it off. It's amazing.
We're due for.
Right. And you also have, like I mentioned before, you've got second row ventilated, second row heated seats as well. And let's have Finn pop out and we'll show you a little bit more. All right, so for an adult sitting in the second row, here's me. And remember, this seat, when the car is off, comes back 3 or 4 inches. So I have the seat where I usually drive 3 or 4 inches even forward than where this is right now. But even where it is, I have tons of leg room back here. It's very comfortable. You can adjust the recline. And if you can adjust, if you need more room for the rear seat, for the third row passengers, you can adjust that as well. But it's pretty phenomenal. And you can easily fit, 6 adults in here comfortably. So let me show you how to get into the third row. It's very easy. You can come over, there's a little button just right here. Press that. Easy. And so, me being 5'9", I can come back, sit here, and then if I were to pull this, now this seat's a little bit forward, but I'm comfortable. Like I have lots of room back here, and you could slide this one forward too. Again, you could fit 4 adults in here pretty comfortably. You've got more USB ports, you've got cup holders, you've got speakers. And one thing I neglected to mention was just this beautiful suede headliner that comes with the Prestige package. But this is an excellent people hauler. It's one of the best you could probably get. And the Kia Carnival was also amazing, but we've loved this Telluride. It's just perfect for hauling people around. Okay, so the cargo area, there's a button under here you just press. Comes up automatically. Again, we have this a little lower because our garage is so low, so it does go up quite a bit higher. But you can see even with the third row up, you've got plenty of space back here for groceries, some bags, backpacks, whatever. Grassy blankets. And to put them down, it's so easy. All you have to do is just pull this, headrest folds, and then boom. That goes down, that goes down. And you can tell you've got tons of space here. We've got plenty of room for the 4 of us and all of our gear for week-long trips. You also have more space underneath. So, kind of cool, yeah, right? So, yeah, lots of just cool, good space and easy to have that third row come back up. And Easy as that. Let's go for a drive. All right, so we're starting off in our family 2022 Kia Telluride SX, and we'll just give you some driving impressions and also just some thoughts as a family, what this has been like to own for almost the last 6 months. We've put just over 4,000 miles on it, so we haven't driven it a lot, but it's enough to have some pretty good impressions about what it's like to own the Kia Telluride. And just some general driving impressions. The Kia Telluride is really just about smooth, and it just feels good. Like, it absorbs bumps pretty well. It's easy to drive, and it just provides just a nice experience being in here. And especially, I would say, on the highway, on road trips. The day after we bought this, we went on a long road trip up to the Pacific Northwest from Utah, and coming from our 2000 Toyota Land Cruiser, it was an amazing experience and pretty luxurious. This is very comfortable. The seats are pretty good. They're not the best seats I've ever sat in, but I would say that they're pretty good. It gets decent fuel economy, at least on the freeway. I remember on our trip we averaged about 24 to 26 miles to the gallon. Around town though, it's not great. The fuel economy if you're doing primarily city driving, which that's most of our driving, is just running kids to school and just going around town, it's pretty dismal, to be honest with you. We usually get about 14 miles to the gallon, which is so bad. Like, it's far worse than I thought it would be.
Hasn't it slightly improved since we took the snow tires off?
Yeah, and yeah, to be fair, we have had snow tires on it for most of the time, and we've gotten those off recently, and I think it does get a little bit better with, the standard Michelin all seasons that are on here. But regardless, 14 miles to the gallon is pretty bad. But our old Land Cruiser it got worse than that, but not by much. But yeah, it's been great. This thing is awesome for hauling the family around. Like, these guys back here have tons of room for their legs. They're comfortable. Again, it's great for around town and for trips. There's tons of storage back there for hauling gear, especially with the third row folded down. But we've had we've had this thing completely loaded up with our family, and with 2 more adults in here utilizing the second and the third row with our kids. And it's great. Like, the third row, I don't know what wizardry Kia's engineers performed in engineering the cabin space, but it's excellent. It's really, really great.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much more I can add to that. I feel like you covered it pretty thoroughly, but I'll just mention just some of the little features that I've enjoyed, because I do like a comfortable ride. I like that I have both heated and cooled seats, which has been nice, because in Utah the weather goes from really hot to really cold like in a day, so it's good to have both of those options. And another cool thing that I've liked that's been kind of fun is the I don't know what the technical term is for it, the speaker feature that they have, where if I push a button on the screen here, the back seat can hear me like through a microphone.
Yeah, I think it's called like passenger talk or something.
Passenger talk, that is what it is. Yeah. So I really like that because, I do carpool with a bunch of kids, and if they're, not buckled up or something, then I can just be like, put on your seatbelt, and I don't have to be like, put on your seatbelt. Yeah, that did tickle my tummy too. But yeah, it's just a really clean interior, and just from a purely vain perspective, I get a lot of compliments about this car, and I've never had a car that's gotten this many compliments before. We do have it in wolf gray, which we'll show the outside, I'm sure, in subsequent videos. But I just consistently, I have men and women always being like, oh, I love your car, what a beautiful car, and they're always really curious about it, so I do like that.
Yeah, it's a stunning car. I mean, Kia, there's a reason this is the highest in-demand vehicle in the country right now. I mean, everybody wants one, and they look amazing. I mean, Kia's done a great job. It looks like a Range Rover. It looks much more expensive than it is. I mean, we sprung for almost every option, and we got the SX, which is the top trim, but we also got the Prestige package, which includes this nicer leather and like this suede headliner and the cooled seats, I believe, in the second row, and a couple other cool options. And it's phenomenal. And all of that, like every box ticked, basically. The MSRP was still under $50,000, which I think is an incredible value. We've driven a lot of cars, and even like some more expensive cars, you know, from like BMW, for example, where the second row hasn't even been heated, let alone heated and ventilated. And so there's a ton of value here, and you get Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty on the powertrain, which is just incredible. It's so good. Like, I can totally see why so many people want one. It's why we wanted one. Like, it's just a great thing to drive. It's not, I will say this, I do wish it had more power. Like, I would happily pay $3 or $4 more grand if Kia were willing to throw down and put their twin turbo from the Kia Stinger in this thing. I don't think it would really affect fuel economy because it's already doesn't get great fuel economy, but the power is adequate. I don't know, that's the best way I can describe it. I wish it had more. It feels like it's, especially with this transmission, this 8-speed transmission, I feel like, especially around town, we live, as you can probably tell, in a pretty hilly area, and the transmission and the engine just seem like they can't like figure out what they're doing sometimes. It's not like a big deal, but I think if it had a little bit more power, it would just feel more confident as I'm like going up hills or trying to accelerate. And like even right now, it's like I'm putting the gas down and it's like, oh, what am I gonna do? And then it's like, oh, okay, now and you can put it into sport mode, which does sharpen things up a bit, but it also kind of like keeps the revs higher, which I don't love. And anyway, but yeah, it's been awesome. The only thing I really wish it had, besides more power, is I wish it had wireless Apple CarPlay. It's kind of weird that it's still wired here. There's even like a wireless charging pad, and anyway, wireless Apple CarPlay would be fantastic. But I don't know, what do you guys think about the Telluride? What do you think, Finn?
Good.
It's good? What do you like about it?
I like the heated seats.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. The passenger seats are heated back there.
Yeah, the second row is heated and ventilated. Yeah. What do you like? What do you like about the Telluride, Mary?
The part.
The part?
Yeah, the part.
Yeah, we like the part.
One thing we should mention too is she gets super car sick.
Yeah.
And so when we would go on long drives in our Land Cruiser that was like over 20 years old.
Yeah, it's 22 years old.
She would just be miserable, and I'd have to sit back with a bucket by her the whole time, which is so much fun.
Yeah.
And she's been so much better in this car.
Yeah.
Like even just around town in our Cruiser, she would get a little queasy if we were driving around, and she's just a lot more comfortable. I love the captain seats back there. I think that just having that extra space has actually been really nice.
Yeah.
But I would say if you are the parent of a child who has car sickness, motion sickness, this is a good car to have.
Yeah, I agree. And the cool thing is too, is about those captain's chairs in the back. I mean, I feel like they're almost as comfortable as these chairs up front, and perfectly, there's tons of room, and we'll show you just, or we've already shown you at this point, there's lots of good room in the second row and third row for adults. And so, I mean, as far as price, technology, luxury, comfort, everything goes, this is a phenomenal value. And the main drawbacks being power and fuel economy, but everything else is fantastic. One more note too is we did spend a week with the Kia Carnival. One second, guys. Finley, please close your door. We spent a week with the Kia Carnival not long ago, and that also was really, really good. And we liked it far more than we thought that we would.
I had very low expectations.
Yeah. It's similar to this, but I think the engine is different, and I wish they would have put the Carnival engine in this. Hold on, Mary.
Just a second, there's...
And either way, I don't think you can really go wrong. If you do value space above all things, then the Carnival is probably going to beat this out. But if you want something that just looks amazing and you know, just isn't a minivan, I guess, and you're willing to, I mean, this still has a ton of room, but if you're willing to have just a little less room inside for cargo, you're going to be really, really happy with the Kia Telluride. But the Carnival's amazing too. Kia across the board is doing fantastic things right now. So, anything else you want to add? Okay, thanks guys for watching. If you wouldn't mind just liking and subscribing this video and letting us know in the comments if you've picked up a Kia Telluride, and let us know why, and let's help each other out. Thanks, we'll see ya.